Hi everybody, it's Midnight Cry with Deborah. Well, I want to share some things that are of a personal nature in mine and Michael's lives. We have put an offer in on a house, and we may or may not get it because it just so happens on the same day, even though this house has been up for sale quite a long time and they haven't had an offer in quite a long time. 2 offers came in today along with ours. So we just now told them our very best that we could do. And it's up to God. But I just wanted to tell you something amazing to me about this place. It's 4.44 acres. Those of you that follow me understand that. Those of you that don't, well, you'll just have to go back and look at a video that I did getting in position to blow the devil's mind or something like that. But yeah, we have a P.O. Box 444, which adds up to 12, which is a governmental number. And now we've just placed our first bid on a home with 4.44 acres. But I just have to tell you, I have not come through all of this with flying colors. I want you all to be encouraged to know that things are hard sometimes. And, you do all you can do, and then you just have to leave the rest to God, and sometimes that's hard. And I'm finding that the only way to get through it is worshiping and praising. And you know, the Lord told me over a year ago, back in the video that I did when I was in Grand Ridge, Florida, and we were at that little church, New Beginning, with our dear brother Tim Fairclough and his precious wife. And when we were there, the Lord told me worship is the key to everything. And you know, you can get so tied up and so busy. We have just looked at property and looked at property and looked at property because we also had a word to go spy out the land. Well, it was very discouraging to spy out the land, but I tell you, so what someone said to me yesterday, they said, well, I guess you found out a lot of what you don't want. Well, yeah, that is exactly true. But I want to share my vision with you, and then I'm going to read a scripture to you about the prophet Samuel and tell you just a couple of little things I want to say about the prophetic word. But the things that I want to share that are kind of personal is we're not gonna be perfect all the time. None of us. We're probably almost none of us can keep from sinning with our mouth. And saying things, and I don't mean ugly, bad things or, you know, cursing people or anything like that, but I mean, it's very difficult to, when you're discouraged, to not say things you shouldn't say. And so, but I want to tell you that we have an advocate with the Father, and his name is Jesus. That means lawyer. So he's our legal counsel. He's our lawyer in the court of heaven. So if you do something wrong, then be quick to say, Lord, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Please break that curse off of me. And that's what I've had to do today, because yesterday I don't think I've ever been more discouraged in my life. But please don't feel sorry for me or anything. I'm just using this as a teaching point to say that, hey, y'all think I've got it all together. I haven't always got it all together. I really don't. But I want to share this with you in Samuel. Now this is in the 1st Samuel, the 16th chapter. And it says, now the Lord said to Samuel, how long will you mourn? How long will you mourn for Saul, seeing I've rejected him from reigning over Israel? So it tells you a lot. He had anointed Saul. Samuel had. And the Lord had told him, you know, to go and anoint Saul. And that was a very personal thing in your life when the Lord tells you to go anoint someone. It is. It's very personal because it's a transference of your spirit to them. And so he was mourning over the fact that Saul had not been a very good king. And he said to him, fill your horn with oil and go. I am sending you to Jesse, the Bethlehemite, for I have provided myself a king among his sons. Now, I'm not going to talk about David at all. That's not what this is about. Let me read the next verse. It's quite amazing. And Samuel said, "How can I go?" Wow. How can I go? If Saul hears it, he will kill me. You know, that leaped off the page at me a few weeks ago when I read that. If Saul hears it, that I'm going to anoint one of Jesse's sons to be king in his place, he's going to kill me. He was genuinely afraid for his life. And there are many today that are afraid for their life, that are being judged wrongly, even in a court in America, and not given much of a chance to bring forward their own, I don't even know what the word is. I wish Michael was here. He's so good with words. But they're not able to justify themselves. They're not able, but we can. We have Jesus. We have the Lord. He's our lawyer. He's our advocate. And he paid the penalty for all of our sin and all of our fears. And quite frankly, we've offered more for this house than what we feel like we can. Well, it's at the edge. It's really at the edge of what we can do. And so we said, Lord, then you're going to have to do the rest. And he's assured us that people will come. People will come. This house is so amazing. And I got to tell you, I'm going to be disappointed if we don't get it. I really am. It needs updates. It's got old carpet in it we need to replace. Old floor we need to replace. But you know what? I just have in my heart that this is the place where it can be the place where God brings his people. It's got a huge living room. Nothing special about it except it's just a big room. And I want to invite you all. And we're near a main road, which is not very far, about 2 miles from a main highway. And so it would be easier for people to come. And that's one of the things that we've had in our hearts the whole time, to make it easy. Lord, put us in a place that's, number one, not on a long dirt road. This is a little short dirt road just down to the driveway. And we just said, Lord, it's in your hands if you want us to have it. And there's already been a couple of people that have said, hey, just let us know when you want us to come help. We're going to need help. But if we don't get it, God's got something better. And I want to tell you that, all of you, that about your own personal lives. If you don't get the thing that you were crying out to God about, don't worry. It just means that he's got something better. It's not his perfect timing yet. And that's hard. It really is. I understand that. But he says to me, he says to God, if Saul hears it, he will kill me. And the Lord said, take a heifer with you and say, I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Then invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show you what you shall do. You shall anoint for me the one I name to you. Isn't that amazing? God always has a way. And here's the thing I wanted to say to you. Prophets are not perfect. And sometimes we can hear something from the Lord, not want to give it because it's scary even to us. Or sometimes we can hear something wonderful and say, oh, Lord, how could that be? And we have to sit on something a long time sometimes until the Lord gives us the faith even to believe what he told us. Does that make sense? And then also, I want to say to all of you that are in churches or in groups where you can't prophesy, but the spirit of prophecy is shut up in your bones and you can't hardly hold it in. The Lord showed me a long time ago, there's always more than one way to prophesy. Would you like to hear it? He told me one time, pray the prophecy. I said, do what? He said, just start praying and I'll give you the prophetic word and you can say it like a prayer. And that's exactly what I did. And so people were like electrified with my prayer. And they didn't even know they had just been given a prophetic word. Is that not the funniest thing? So I'm just telling you, You can sometimes speak a prophetic word just as a word of wisdom. Sometimes you can speak it as something like a word of understanding, something you know or understand. That you can say, I really believe I'm hearing this from the Lord. And don't say, thus saith the Lord. There are places that's just not honored. There's places that's going to bring you into reproach. And you can actually say to God, did you know this? You can actually say to God, Lord, I can't say that. And he will tell you how. Just exactly like what Samuel said to God. I can't do that. Saul will kill me. So God told him what to do, how to do it in a way that wouldn't get him killed. Why? Because it wasn't God's time for Samuel to go home. Well, anyway, there you go. That's my little tip for today. And I just want to say about the house, if we get it, I thank you for your prayers right now. I'm going to send this out right now. And there are 2 other offers on the table, and we've just given our very best, and that's all we can do, and leave the rest with God. But what I do want you to know that this is so unlike me. I am a very private person. Some of you tried to get to know me. Please forgive me, because I'm just not like that. But you know what? I was telling Michael, I was crying this morning. I said, honey, I want a place. I want a place where they can come to our Bible study, where they can come and be refreshed and be released, be into the prophetic word of the Lord, or into doing the calling that God has on their life. A place is safe. That's what we want our living room to be. And then we want our house, and then we want our property to be a place where people can come that are destitute, who love God and don't know what to do, and who God sends. We want whoever God sends. I've seen tents on the property, not on this property, but in my heart, in my mind. And Michael knows that is not me. I mean, that is just not me. Anyway, I just wanted you to know I love you, and I'm thinking about you, as always. And thank you so much for those of you who have given, especially those that have sent us money. That one lady sent us some money in the mail anonymously, and she wouldn't tell me who she was. She said, just please mention it on the video. Say, okay, I'm mentioning it. Had gold foil all the way around it. Couldn't hardly get into it. Thank you, dear. And it's okay. You don't have to send things anonymously to us. And there's been a book, a really precious book. She wanted me to give her a little bit of a boost, but I said I can't. I really can't. Because if I did that, I'd have 100 people wanting me to please help them with their book. And I don't even, I want to tell you something else. When God's timing is perfect, okay? And when my little book came out in August of 2017, I don't think I sold 5 copies for 4 years. So it didn't really take off until 2021, maybe the latter part of 2020. And now I have over 500 5-star reviews. I don't know how that happened. But you know what? God's timing is perfect. And if the book's from Him, and I believe many of you have written books, many of you have sent me your books. I've so appreciated it. Now, please don't decide I need to send her my book, okay? Because I don't have a lot of extra time. I really do mean that. I don't have a lot of extra time. I'm really, really busy, and I've got to write this second book of mine, and I've gotten a little headway, but about time I make headway, there I go again, getting off track. So pray for me. I love you. I'm praying for you. I pray for you to be healed. I pray for you to be delivered. I pray for you to walk in your calling and the anointing God has for you. It is never too late. I don't care how old you are, how out of shape you are. I've lost quite a bit of weight. I'm doing what they call keto carnivore, in case you're interested. And inches are just falling off my body, and I'm starting to actually have energy again. And I've had a lot of physical problems this past year, and I haven't taken meetings because I've just been too exhausted because of adrenal failure, adrenal fatigue. So please don't tell me. I know I'm a nurse. Please don't tell me all the things I need to do. Trust me, I have researched it. I've researched it and researched it to know what the Lord wants me to do. So I'm doing everything that I feel like He wants me to do, and I just want you to know I love you, and you are all so special. Thank you for your gifts, especially the ones to Ashley and Raja. They have just been so blessed, so blessed. Through many of your gifts, we were able to give them $3,600 this past month. So thank you so much. We love you, and we bless you in the name of the Lord. Bye for now.